Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to a very special episode of the Warriors of Wrestling Live Q&A with myself and Joey B. And apparently, Joey B is pissed off, so welcome back to the show, Joe.
Well, I figured you haven't had a lot of listens and views in a while, so you needed me to come on and help you out.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you only do one show in 3 months.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Why have you stopped? I mean, you used to be pretty regular and used to have, pretty regular guests on here. I mean, and some good ones, too, like Eric Bischoff, besides myself.
Yeah, of course, besides yourself. And, of course, everybody's hero, Rob Fury.
Okay. As much as I think the guy's a fucking clown, he did get a lot of listens, I guess, reviews. I don't know how you downloads. I don't know whatever you call it.
He's a good listen. Whether you believe what comes out of his mouth or not, it's still entertaining.
Well, I think the thing with him was he was discussing a situation with another company. I think people wanted to hear it.
Yeah,
that's what I gathered from that. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that definitely. Well, basically, with the whole podcasting, live radio thing that's been going on, it became kind of everybody was doing the same kind of thing. So, with all the conventions that were going on towards the end of the year, decided, you know what, take some time away from the radio, reevaluate the format going into next year, and we kind of introduced that format when we did the show a couple of weekends ago regarding Dylan Hines. So that's kind of where we'll be next year, Thursdays, 7 p.m. on the Indie Super Show going into January 2018. So everybody got a sneak peek of how that's going to turn out. And, well, you know what? People are probably not going to like being on the show. But
wait, so you're not doing Sundays anymore?
No more Sundays. We kind of just ran into a lot of competition between baseball, football, wrestling pay-per-views, and even just people eating dinner and not really wanting to go on the radio, like social media and stuff like that, just relaxing because they got work the next day. So at least now on Thursday nights, we got pretty much an entire weekend and a week worth of stuff to talk about, whether it's mainstream or indie or anything else, or conventions and stuff like that. Because you remember, we had to take off weekends from the show because of conventions. So it was just, it wasn't weekly. Now, there's really no excuse to miss a week of the show. And we'll continue to do some good interviews. We'll have people calling in and doing stuff. But anybody's got a gripe, or anybody wants to throw someone under the bus, or, expose a fraud, that's how we're going.
Speaking of frauds, there's an agent, I don't know what the fuck he is. Kevin Bellamy, he's out of Ohio, he might be out of Tennessee, I don't know. He sounds like Buff Bagwell when you talk to him. I think he's actually friends with him. This guy, I don't want to do it now, but he's a scam artist. I'm going to send you all the texts I have with this guy. Me and Lewis, this guy scammed us out of money with Kevin Nash. If you remember, a few months back, we were supposed to bring Kevin Nash.
Yep.
Kevin Nash never agreed with it. I had Eric Sims actually called this clown, and Eric was like, this guy had been on the phone for 45 minutes. My head is spinning. So, that's something down the road. Maybe get Lewis on there for that. Even probably Eric Sims. He'll try to call this fucking scumbag, too. I just think this is some indie scam artist that got away with some money from me and Lewis.
Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, there's a lot of them out there, and the only way they're going to get caught, or they're going to, their nonsense is going to get exposed, is by putting it out there. I mean, we did it with Dylan. We did it with Mike Dickinson. We did it. We'll do it again. So, basically, if you're a bad business guy, don't do business with those New York boys, because we gonna expose you.
We'll gang up on you. You New Yorkers think you know it all.
Yeah, we got alligator mouth. Oh boy, that was definitely a bad grammar and bad English lesson that day.
It's weird. I used to have my own radio shows. Everybody knows Warriors Radio, and we had a lot of fun on there. And it's weird being on the other side of the telephone, you would say.
Yeah, I just did an interview earlier today with High Spot Radio, where they interviewed me, and Yeah, it felt really weird because usually I'm the one asking the questions and waiting on answers. Instead, it was me doing all the talking.
No.
Well, go ahead, because I know you're pissed off at somebody. Go ahead.
I'm not. Oh, yeah. Well, earlier today, not today, last night, so early this morning, early morning hours, we uploaded a match from a studio taping, which one should never have been allowed to take place. Let's just put that there.
Okay.
And two, I have a thing where if you do a match, I'll upload it. So I'm also guilty in this disgrace. Jake streamed it live. Forget about even uploading it or editing it. Jake streamed it live, and I sat there watching this. I could not believe the garbage I was watching. And then I tagged Big Vito, and everybody knows Big Vito LaGrasso. Had a hand in training me at Johnny Rides' school. Somebody that's actually done something in the business. You're not somebody that drives around from state to state for $50, $100, driving 400 miles on a weekend. This is the guy that was paid to actually do these things. Somebody that's actually did something. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Okay.
But this morning, he actually wrote on my wall what he thought of the match. And I'm glad he did. And, it sucks that people have to see this, but maybe it will start opening up people's eyes to, if you're going to be a wrestler, you really need to take it seriously. And the guy and the girl in this match, and the sad thing is the girl in the match probably trains more than the guy in the match. The guy in the match trains once a week, doesn't give a fuck what he looks like. He's entertaining, yeah. I can't say he's not. But it's embarrassing when somebody that, has been somewhere calls it out. And then you got Jake, who, who's been all over the world several times. Arguing the point that Vito made where Vito can't see it until I tagged Jake on my main wall. Then he calls, I didn't say nothing insulting.
Okay.
And I don't know how anybody, again, Jake, is a nominee this year for the WWE Hall of Fame. Could even argue the point of this. Like, you should just, hey, shut the fuck up. And say, yeah, you're right. And then Rob Black, another guy that's probably up for WWE nominee, he's done even less than Jake. He's probably done even less than TK Luther chiming in, and I just blow him off because his opinion doesn't matter as far as wrestling goes to me. But these guys don't want to take this seriously, and then they get called out and they get all butthurt about it. Like it's everybody else's fault, but maybe you should look in the mirror and see the shit that you embarrass not only me, the school, yourself. You're performing most of these guys I would never book anyway that are surrounding this ring. Not all of them, because some of them are good, but the majority of them probably will never go past working for, as you say, a hot dog and a handshake,
Yeah, I did enjoy that meme I put on your page with the hot dog and a handshake.
Let me read what Vito wrote, and then like I said, I agree with this. To the WOW training camp, I just watched a match in your school. What is most disturbing is that there are students who actually think this is good. That's what pissed me off in the first place, is yesterday, and I don't even know how Vito knew that, but Sam writing how proud he is of the match. Like, how are you proud of this garbage? Like, I don't, like, you watch this, you think this is good? Like, do you do acid?
Yeah,
anyway.
I did watch it.
It's like, well, let me finish reading.
Yeah, okay.
If you participated in this, be ashamed to be a future wrestler. You look like you have not trained one day and you were playing wrestler. Yeah, he's right. These guys train once a week. Once a week. If you were training and not ready, why would you post something? Out of shape, clowning around, having no logic, and most of all, how does a man hit a woman in this day and age with everything that's going on? If I was to take my family to watch this, I would instead take them elsewhere. You don't hit a woman, period. What example do you set for young children? Here's where Jake chimed in, and of course this is Jake's defense. Well, I want intergender matches. Now, I spoke to Vito later on in the day, earlier today now, and Vito's like, I've had intergender matches. He's like, but the guy is flat out punching a woman.
Right.
Jake don't get that. Jake doesn't care if people leave the audience, You both look like you think you're ready for WWE. You're only ready to sit home on the couch with your mom. How about training? Johnny West never had his wrestling gimmick during training. Of course, now I think Vito doesn't know that we were doing at the time. I don't think he knew what we were doing. So maybe that, and that's really the only on it. I can see where Vito was kind of misled there. But everything else Vito said is right on point.
Mm-hmm.
listened to what was being taught. I have only done everything from top to bottom in the business. The video's been everywhere. Nobody can deny that. Never have I done this. Don't expose your school with videos like this. It makes it look like it's not the place to go. Guys train to get in shape. This is not what today's wrestling. This is not what to look like in today's wrestling. For all who are participating, embarrassing. Guys are laughing at stuff I'm saying. If whoever out there doesn't know Big Vito, he's not as big as the star as Jake, but he's been in WWF. He's been in ECW. He's been in WCW. He's been in TNA. He's been in WWE. He's also wrestled internationally. Again, not as much as Jake has, but he has. He has paid his dues. He was a guy that trained 4 days a week and took it seriously. You can understand somebody looking at this shit that was posted and saying, this is garbage. It is embarrassing for me, but this is my school. I want people to join the school, not see this shit. And then for anybody to defend it, it's like, and look at the people that are defending it. Out of shape, never fucking paid their dues in wrestling, never fucking did anything in wrestling at all.
Now, when
I gotta say,
people are defending,
there's things being said that my locker room's become a circle jerk. I gotta say, I got rid of some of those guys, and I'll continue to do it.
Now,
one got rid of himself.
Well, yeah. When you said, like people, when you said people are defending this, are you talking about students and
no students,
fans?
No students in their right mind. How can you defend this? How can you? And you got to really be like mentally ill or on the spectrum of autism to defend and say this. Oh wow, this is something I want to see. The guys are chanting around the ring like a bunch of idiots. They're not going to look professional. You look at a school like WrestlePro. That's a professional school run by a professional guy. They don't put shit out like this.
Right. I don't think they really put anything out.
No, but and if they had something like Jake should never have streamed that match, and to his credit, he took it down. But it deserves to be fucking shown to people, and I'm gonna have to take a smack in the face for it. But it's embarrassing.
Well, I mean, I gotta think like this: that Jake was taking this video.
I'm getting messages from. This is gonna be a quote going forward. I think this is gonna be a hashtag. Yeah. Not as big of a star as Jake. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying to Jake's credit, meaning Jake Gomez's credit, that when he was filming this, he had the best interests in mind of the company, but he didn't. I don't think he knew what was going to unfold in front of him.
And he's a fucking moron. He had 11, 12, 13, 14 matches with some guys in there that can go. And why film that? You know damn well, even if you're entertained by TK's nonsense, the girl's not up to par. And the girl, let's talk about the girl for a minute.
Okay.
She's given one of my students a concussion. This is the best. She thinks she's fucking Big Vito, telling one girl, "You're gonna take what I give you," or something like that. This is what I was told me by somebody. She wrestled Bunny on a we did a show for the special needs kids on Friday morning. Knocked her contact out and blamed Bunny for it. So that's somebody that's clueless too. So you knew in this match you had the blind leading the blind, and yet you film it and show people, it's embarrassing. Well, he could have showed. I think he wrestled, putting his match on. He's capable of putting on a good match.
Yes.
Did he phone to somebody else?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really see schools really put